going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Moving on to AJ Fury, what do you make of that whole fiasco? Because at one moment it looks as if it's going to happen, then it doesn't, and now it's just completely up in the air.
Yeah, nobody's saying throwing the blame like a hot potato. It's not my fault, it's your fault. Let's go in regards to this spat about how the fight was going to go. The first person that shouted out was Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, being the man he is, said, well, let's do this fight, let's have it. Put it out there publicly. Usually when you're going to negotiate these things, you're doing behind closed doors before you do it publicly on a public forum. So that's the pressure man into doing something. AJ took the bait and said, yeah, let's do it. Contracts were pushed back and forth. I think what happens with both fighters, with AJ's team as well as with Tyson Fury's team, their teams are the one that have to get on with, like, I've got to get this, I've got to do this, that, and the other. So Fury's saying, right, if I've not got this, fight's off, but his team's not telling him, oh, we're just doing this. For Anthony Joshua, he's just saying, sign it. What's their issue? And they're saying, well, we've not got anything back from them. So it's I suppose it's like waiting for somebody to process a letter. And they said, oh, you get it back next week. You're thinking, why next week? Why can't you do it now and send me straight back? The fighters, how it's being dealt with, I think deep down, Tyson Fury realizes December the 3rd is probably too tight, too close to this big fight. I think, I know he was talking about fighting Alexander Usyk, but then he wanted a warm-up fight before he had that fight. So it's just too many conflicting stories about what he's doing. I think Tyson believes what he's saying at the time he's saying it. And his management team are there to pick up the pieces and try and make sense of what he's saying.
Who does the blame lie with, in your opinion, from what we're seeing in the media? Because you wouldn't have any indication other than what's in the media. But who does the blame lie with, ultimately, that this isn't going to happen?
It's down to ignorance because the fight's been thrown out. The fight was accepted. You heard from both fighters. So Tyson Fury is then saying, if it's not done by this day, it's off. So then it looks like, well, but you can't just do that. You can't say you signed that. Don't look at the details. Don't look at the small print. Don't look at any of that. Just sign it. If you don't sign it today, it's off. You can't do that. That doesn't exist. It doesn't. Yeah, who would do that? So it's down to inexperience, naivety, arrogance. And so that would be at that would be at the feet of Tyson Fury, because as far as I know, they haven't refused anything. As far as I know, they've signed and said, "Yeah, we'll do it. We've got to check this out. Thank you. Yes, that can happen." There's not. No, I'm not fighting you. There's not demand after demand, which I'm hearing. AJ's team's getting. We want this, yeah. Oh, and we want this, yeah. Oh, and we want this, yeah. Oh, and we want this. So I think the majority of people would think Fury, because even his own team haven't really said otherwise, as in Queensbury.
Let me put you in the position of Eddie Hearn right now for 1 second, right? You're Eddie Hearn. You get this offer. Is it beneficial in your eyes to feed Anthony Joshua into the lion's den like this at a vulnerable point of his career?
No. And so therefore you need somebody to take a bold step and say, AJ, this is not happening. But who's the boss, Eddie or AJ? Eddie's been employed to do a job. Eddie's doing his job. He wants to create longevity and build AJ back up again. AJ's ego is hurt, and Tyson's called him out. So he said, I want this job. You get that job done, get it signed. So, of course, you would look at if on AJ's side, the only person you'd blame if it didn't happen is Eddie. AJ wants a fight. If I was in AJ's team, I'd say, yo, don't take that fight. So I'm quite sure the people in his team don't want to take the fight. AJ wants a fight. In Tyson Fury's team, Tyson Fury wants to fight, but he wants it done now, right now. Like you're going to have a fight in the cobbles. You don't want it like that. The date was secure. The contractual details were passed back and forth, but that wasn't good enough for Fury, which then makes you think, Have you just priced yourself out of that? Have you done that on purpose? And that's what I said. There's a wave of a backlash wave coming back because people, it's like the boy that cried wolf. Like, all right, you've said too many conflicting things here, which is a shame because I think both fighters actually want to fight each other.
Is the danger though that if you're in AJ's team, like we're saying hypothetically you are, and you don't take this fight, that it never actually happens because of that? Because
Yes.
later on,
Yes,
it
correct.
might not be a
John Fury. I saw John Fury yesterday saying this fight is dead. It's never going to happen. Are we to believe John Fury? We saw Tyson Fury. He said that we believe Tyson Fury. So we all know I'm not speaking out of turn. There's too many contradictions of what is said and what is not said. So that's part of the course. You just got to think, well, you're saying that today, we'll ask him tomorrow. So it's like that trust in the word.
There's reports of Chisora Fury 3. Do you really want to see that? It's 2-0 Fury. Is there a point at this stage of him fighting Chisora again? Or is it just really going to be a warm-up fight?
It's pointless. It's pointless. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. Why? What are you proving? I can beat you 3 times. Why? You know, and he beat him well. So what's the point? So again, you know, he just wants to get out. If he wants to get out and fight, remember the guy didn't want to fight again. Then he went off a bill. Then he went X, Y, Z. So he just wants to fight.
In your opinion, who should each guy fight next if they are going to fight in December and they're not going to fight each other?
Yeah. So for Anthony Joshua, I'd actually not fight in December if I was Anthony Joshua. I'd get my head back, get my confidence back, get my self-belief back, and just go back and look at what happened with the last 2 Usyk fights. And you've got to emotionally get over that. He's not over that. And maybe the wrong word or one scenario, one certain shot that he kept getting caught with will take him back to that place of having an eel in front of him that he can't pin down. He's got to get over that. So I wouldn't have to actually have him fighting in December. Go back, walk away, just like take it, get out of your head, you know, clear up. And that's how you get over these things. For Tyson Fury, he's been out a while. Tyson Fury, but he's been training, so this is his choice again. I would have box a top tier fighter. If I was Tyson Fury, no. Even though he beat most of them. So Tyson Fury's got to pick wisely. He's got to pick. Would he pick someone that's shot on his way down, or would he pick somebody like Hrgovic? Strong, tough, raises an eyebrow. Would he do that? You don't know, but there are fighters out there. That's a good one.
We'll move on to the massive card on Sky Sports next weekend because obviously, unfortunately, it was postponed. This is a massive event. I actually spoke to Sean Porter about this during the week, and he suggested to me that actually the fights should be happening in the US due to 3 out of the 4 fighters being from the US. What do you say to that?
I'd line, Sean. I'd line, brother. He's here in the UK. So that's it. Why don't you guys put it on? And I think it's a great bill. I'm so looking forward to it. When he got pulled the last time, it was like somebody walking into a club and just pulling the plug on the DJ's mixing decks. So now we're back again. The fights are back again. This delay could actually change the face of a couple of decisions because the difference is, and if I'm honest with you, I think the fight could have gone on still. I understand Her Majesty passed. I understand that. And I also understand other sporting events that happened that weekend and that week. I understand that. But I also understand that if there's no sport going to be had, have no sport. Boxing is that sport where individuals train for that day, that hour. And so you can't push it back a day. You can't bring it forward a day because it affects everything they've worked for 12 weeks. So if you're going to grant some sports to go on, you could have granted the boxing. But I think rugby was granted, cricket was granted, I think something else was granted, horse racing was granted. I get that. But what I'm saying to you is either across the board, but with boxing, it is a shame because, as I say, individuals have trained their bodies to that day. It's not like football where you can say, "Oh, we'll push it back a day." We'll do it to win. Well, you can't do that in boxing. So it probably hurt them more than any other sport. I think now that time, because these girls have been training, and their bodies are tired. But now they've got to go back, tick over, bring it up again, risk injury, and then get back in again. They've got to get that peak, that sharp, that snap for fight night. And yes, you're going to get some complaints about it. You're going to get some moans about it. But at the end of the day, they're all in the same boat. Everybody suffered the same consequences.
Do you think the delay negatively impacts either Savannah or Clarissa in the main event?
Yes, I do. When it came to the weigh-in, on the day they found out the fight was off, I saw Clarissa, and she looked like somebody else. She'd lost that much weight, and it's hard when you got to do that because you only see it every now and again when you've tapered down to that day, that time, that moment. Now she'll have left, put some weight back on again, had to stay around that weight to get back down to it again. And usually what happens is if you're big for the weight, you want to try and keep as much of that strength when you're bigger as you can for when you get down to that weight. Now these fighters are on really and truly down to the weight. So how strong will they naturally be? Because they're not being as strong as they normally are, because normally you're walking around about 2 stone above that weight, and that's what they're sparring at and everything. Now they've been having to train around that weight. So I reckon that'll make a difference to the power. But be a wicked fight.
How do you think that one goes?
I've not changed my mind. I think Savannah outboxes Clarissa. Clarissa's got great, amazing character, amazing engine, an amazing ego. She's got to try and talk Savannah into her kind of argument, her kind of fight. And if she can do that, then it goes with Clarissa. But Savannah, Peter Fury, they're too smart, man, to get suckered into that.
The co-main and Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner is an unbelievable matchup. So intriguing. How do you think that one goes?
I know. I don't. You know what? I don't know. You'd have to side with Maya, but then I'm glad she beat Terry Harper. But how she beat her, Terry Harper, she has the power. I just got to respect that. If she doesn't, then she gets turned over. Because if you go in there with someone that can bang, and she can bang, you've just got to think to yourself, you've got to be smart with it. You've got to respect what's in front of you.
Well, Johnny, look, thanks so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it, mate. We'll do this again soon and hopefully see you next week.
Anytime, brother.
Anytime, man. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you, mate.
Please. See you later.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife for saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.